how can you get more activity, more steps in your day, even when you work in an office building at a sedentary job, like maybe as much as five days a week? You're working and you're sitting. It's really hard. I was a personal trainer only for it's been 25 years. And a few years ago, right after COVID, I took a job that was 2 days a week sitting at a desk. And man, was that a change because as a personal trainer, I am standing, walking, moving, demonstrating the whole 9 yards for 4, 5, 6 or more 8 hours during the day. And so I never worried about am I being active enough. But working at a desk was really a big change for me. And I really didn't enjoy how I felt those 2 days being sedentary. And so I have built in some habits so that I can be more active. Now, also, if you work from home, that can work for you and against you when it comes to activity, right? If you're working from home and you're waking up, you're eating breakfast, you're sitting in your house at your desk, maybe you have a handful of times where you get up to use the bathroom, but you don't even have a walk to the car, walk out, then you really want to be paying attention here because you want to get your steps up, you want to get your blood pumping a little bit. So 2 days a week in an office really gave me a taste of, oh my gosh, sedentary stuff is not good. I just didn't feel good. I did not feel good sitting all day. So the first thing I recommend is just park far away. Park in the far lot. If you can get an extra 5-minute walk into the office, fantastic. That is a big, and that goes for any time you are going in somewhere. Park in an inconvenient place so that you are then needing to, like, 5 minutes of brisk walking into the office. It's really good for you. So I recommend that you park in an inconvenient spot, a little bit further away, so that you are getting a few hundred extra steps in for that walk into the building. That can be helpful and also helps you to set the tone for the day because you've walked in and like that. And it's, oh yeah, you're thinking about being more active and that sets momentum for the rest of the day. Number 2 is you want to be taking the stairs. I work on the 4th floor. I never use the elevator, never ever use the elevator. And I use the stairs only. So every time I go into work, I climb those 4 flights of stairs to get to my office. And it feels really good to get moving. And the same thing when I leave, I always go down the stairs when I'm leaving. And it's just, again, stairs are a great way to get your heart rate up. They're a great way to get your steps in. You should always use the stairs. It utilizes your glutes and your quads, which are primary muscles. It's almost like squatting. And I know some of you might have heard like squatting multiple times a day is so good for our blood sugar levels. It's good for keeping our legs strong, which you really want to do. So whenever you have the opportunity to take the stairs, take them. When you're at work, you should always be taking the stairs to get up to your office building. Super important. And the third one is track your steps, and you want to be really firm about what your bare minimum is. What is your bare minimum? Now, yesterday, I checked my steps. Yesterday was a work in the office day for me. I checked my steps, and I was at about 6,000 steps. And that was with me thinking about this. So another thing I should say, always take the stairs. When you get to the office, I use the bathroom on the 1st floor, always. Maybe sometimes a second, but I always will walk a flight of stairs to get to the bathroom whenever I am going to take a bathroom break. So that's another one with always take the stairs. Always take the stairs. So just use the stairs. If there's another bathroom on a different floor, use them. I also like it because then I don't run into my clients in the bathroom, which I always think is a little weird. So I'm always happy to just take the stairs, run down a few flights to use the bathroom, and then run back up. I also use the bathroom usually like right before and or after lunch, just to get up and stretch my legs. And I do that, and using the stairs right after a meal is also really good for our blood sugar. So it's really good to be using the stairs during your workday. Back to the bare minimum goal. So you should at least have a goal in mind of your steps and what you're aiming for. So if you notice, like yesterday, I think I was somewhere between 7,000 steps a day for an office day, and my bare minimum is 8,000 steps for an office day. And so then I had to do a little bit extra. I took the dog down to the mailbox. I just was focused on getting my steps up to that bare minimum that I have agreed to on my office day. On my non-office days, I get probably 15,000 steps in a day, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but I get a good amount. So have a bare minimum. So what you could do is you could look at what's your average amount of steps per day when you're working in an office, and you can aim for the highest of those days. So say some days you're 3,500, then you're 5,000, and then you're 4,000, and then average them out and see if you can do that or more consistently every day you're in the office. And see how that feels. If that feels doable, you can up it another 500 steps and just onwards and upwards, and challenge yourself to be getting a little bit more in. It's really good for you. So create a bare minimum that you're sticking to, and always get more, that or more. It's a bare minimum for a reason. It's just a really good thing to stick with when you are trying to be focused. I remember I had a client a long time ago who worked in an office. No, she worked at home. She worked from home, and she lived in a tiny apartment, and man, she got 1,000 steps a day working from home in her apartment. And that was not a good situation for her mentally or physically. It meant she's not going out. It meant she wasn't getting out. Like maybe one day a week she'd run to the store, and she was just working a ton, and she was stuck in her apartment. And so I know most people are not that extreme, but there's always room for improvement, and you can always do just a little bit more. Okay? So those are my 3 tips for you from someone who works in an office 2 days a week to you who probably works in an office 2 or more days a week, and you really want to be moving, keeping your heart working, your lungs working, your muscles working, and avoiding being sedentary so much. So that is it. My name is June Melia. I am a personal trainer. I have been a personal trainer for 25 years. I earned my master's degree in athletic training, and I love helping people come up with solutions to their fitness problems and how staying consistent with their exercise plans. If you need any help with anything like that, you can post below. I also have a exercise tracker down below that you can print out, and you can track your exercise. So if that interests you, you can find that below. Okay, I loved speaking with you, and I will talk to you again soon, I hope. All right, bye.